Something unexpected is brewing behind the scenes in Santa Clara, something that could shake up the entire depth chart before the season even starts. No, it's not a blockbuster trade or a star free agent. It's a player almost no one saw coming, a name unheard of on draft day, a prospect overlooked by scouts, ignored by analysts, and completely off the radar of most fans. But somehow, through sheer performance, grit, and undeniable potential, this player is forcing everyone, coaches, teammates, and even longtime insiders, to take notice. The whispers started quietly at rookie minicamp, then they grew louder during OTAs. And at mandatory minicamp, it wasn't just talk, it was confirmation. Something real was happening. A player who shouldn't have mattered so early was beginning to outperform the veterans around him. The workouts didn't lie. The reps didn't lie. And the reactions from teammates and coaches certainly didn't lie. Suddenly, the underdog was overshadowing the established names. Suddenly, everyone was asking the same question: who is this guy? You're about to find out. But first, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button to stay informed. Now, something is happening on the 49ers defensive line that many aren't paying attention to yet, but should be. We're talking about a player who hasn't even been drafted yet, someone most fans have only known about for a few weeks, but who is already turning heads in Santa Clara. And if this trajectory continues, it may not be long before we're all talking about him the same way we talk about other rising stars who came out of nowhere. That player? Sebastian Valdez. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could an undrafted free agent from Washington, who played just 1 year there after transferring from Montana State, be this important? Here's the thing, every once in a while, the NFL surprises us with a story that defies the draft board, that breaks the mold. Valdez might just be that story in the making. Standing at 6 feet 3 inches, weighing 301 pounds, he's what scouts call a three-tech defensive tackle. But don't let the weight fool you, Valdez plays heavier, meaner, and more powerfully than that number suggests. From rookie minicamp through OTAs and mandatory minicamp, Valdez has consistently stood out. And this isn't just the eye test. He's shown real short area quickness, powerful hands, and a level of explosiveness that's rare for someone his size. Sure, he's got shorter arms, just over 31 inches, but that hasn't stopped him from flashing in drills, getting under offensive linemen, and disrupting plays. What's even more intriguing? His impact is already drawing serious attention from voices that matter. Larry Krueger, a name every Bay Area football fan knows well, and a former professional scout under Buddy Ryan, went on record calling Valdez shocking. Not because he expected him to be bad, but because he simply didn't expect this level of dominance from an undrafted guy. Krueger compared Valdez's early practice dominance to that of Brock Purdy's, yes, that Brock Purdy, saying he's outperformed veterans like Kalia Davis, Evan Anderson, Kevin Givens, and C.J. West in defensive line drills. According to Krueger, line coach Chris Kukurek has been visibly impressed, and teammates are dapping him up after every rep. Think about that for a second. This isn't just holding your own in practice. This is a rookie, an undrafted one, looking better than the vets. That doesn't happen by accident. That happens because the guy is good, maybe really good. He put up 34 reps of 225 pounds on the bench press at his pro day, showing off serious play strength. That's the kind of functional strength defensive tackles need when they're engaging and disengaging from blockers every snap. But it doesn't stop there. Valdez ran a 5.02 in the 40-yard dash. For someone who weighs over 300 pounds, that's flying. He also logged a 9.22 relative athletic score, putting him in elite territory. And we know the 49ers care about those athletic metrics. They've built their D-line around athleticism and versatility, and Valdez checks those boxes in a big way. And let's not forget the numbers. In 2024, playing in the tough Big Ten Conference, Valdez tallied 49 tackles, 4.5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and a pass breakup. That's production you can't ignore, especially when it comes from a guy who wasn't even on the draft radar. There's something else here that's important. The 49ers' defensive tackle depth is wide open. With the team parting ways with players like Javon Hargrave and Malik Collins, and with the coaching staff clearly looking to retool the defensive line with younger, more explosive talent, the path is clear for someone like Valdez to break through. Jordan Elliott is a solid vet but hasn't proven to be more than that. Kalia Davis might not make the team. Evan Anderson has promise, but the competition is wide open. If Valdez continues on this path, there's a very real shot he not only makes the 53-man roster, but makes an impact during the season. This is where things get really interesting. Because if Valdez ends up contributing like it looks he might, we could be witnessing another Niners front office masterstroke. Finding value where no one else looked. And turning a no-name UDFA into a game-changing defensive piece. What do you think, faithful? Could Sebastian Valdez be this year's breakout star? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And now comes the real test. Training camp is right around the corner, and that's when pads start popping, when the real evaluations begin. It's one thing to flash during OTAs and shorts, another entirely to hold your ground when you're going toe-to-toe with full-speed offensive linemen in full gear. That's when we'll truly find out what Sebastian Valdez is made of, but if what we've seen this spring is any indication, he might just be ready to shake up the 49ers depth chart. What's remarkable about Valdez is how he fits into the current vision for this defensive line. The 49ers have made it clear they want more speed, more versatility, and more aggression from their interior defenders. Gone are the days of relying on big-bodied, space-eating nose tackles who clog up the middle and do little else. In this modern version of the wide nine defense, defensive tackles need to move, react, and make plays. They need to be disruptors. That's exactly what Valdez is showing he can be. He's not just a guy who can anchor, he's a player who can slice through gaps, shoot into the backfield, and create chaos. He's agile enough to move laterally and powerful enough to win matchups head-on. And he's doing it in a way that reminds coaches and teammates alike of players who have already succeeded against the odds. Let's not forget how rare this kind of emergence is. Undrafted defensive tackles don't often become meaningful contributors in year one. But the signs are all there. The movement ability, the strength, the intelligence, the praise from scouts and coaches alike. And, perhaps most importantly, the opportunity. The 49ers don't have a locked-in backup behind their starting defensive tackles. The depth is shallow, and the coaching staff has made it clear that reps will be earned, not given. This is the kind of situation where a guy like Valdez, who may not have had the spotlight in college but brings the tools and the mentality, can rise fast. Very fast. There's also something to be said about the way Valdez carries himself. According to insiders, his approach to practice, his demeanor in the huddle, and his interactions with veterans all speak to a player who isn't just happy to be here, he's ready to compete. He's not deferring. He's not backing down. He's attacking every rep like he belongs. That's the mentality of a player who surprises everyone except himself. Let's keep an eye on this story, because if Valdez continues this trajectory, we're going to look back at this summer and realize it was the moment a key piece of the 49ers defense was found in the most unexpected way possible. And it won't be long before the rest of the league is wondering how they missed him. All right, faithful, now it's your turn. Do you think Sebastian Valdez is the real deal? Is this the kind of underdog story that makes football so special? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to the channel. Go Niners!